Hi guys, welcome to my channel, Lighting Your Sunshine, where we like to shine a light within and empower ourselves. So today we're just gonna tap in and get a loving message from Kuan Yin. So we're gonna use the Kuan Yin Oracle and then the Whispers of Healing Oracle. And so let's just shake it up and see what comes out. Not that one. Both? Both. How many? 3. And 3. And for this one, clarifier each. Okay, so there's 1, 2, what is this? Just put these aside. Okay, so the cards that we have, I didn't really look at them. We have the Blossom of the Sky Dancer with the many hands of the goddess, and then we have the Lotus Throne. So those are the 3 main ones. And then to clarify the Blossom Dancer, we have alternative. To clarify the many hands of the goddess, we have control. And to clarify the Lotus Throne, we have ruminate. And so the first message that I feel coming out is, especially with this alternative and ruminate, and the many hands. So this Sky Dancer, it's like you've been taught how to do things for generations one way, and with the many hands and the alternate, it's like saying that there's something that you can do with less effort. It could be easier. There's many ways to get to the same thing. And so when I think of this Blossoms of the Sky Dancer, well, first off, blossoms are earthly based, and then the sky is air. So how do the 2 match? How can you incorporate them? So when I think of air, I think of the mind. Air is usually mental energy, and it's all thoughts and beliefs. And so when I saw the Blossom Dancer, that now actually in the lotus, the blossom and the lotus. So the lotus brings in a not quite an air element, but a water element. No mud, no lotus. And so the sky itself, to me, is like trying to raise up, trying to overcome something, especially when it comes to connecting with spirit, right? So we've got all the elements. We've got earth, air, water, fire, and then spirit is kind of like the 5th element. It's that unseen thing to tap into. And so with the air, right, that's how usually spirit's perceived, but it's not even that. It's even above that. But that's what we're always trying to raise our consciousness to, our energy, to elevate to that. But as this lotus shows, this Blossom of the Sky Dancer is like, you don't just have to sit, and this one might be like a dance to connect to the ancestors or something. Well, that's one way that you can do things. But as this one says, there's many, many ways to get to the same alternative. And so I'm hearing, don't poo-poo on other people's culture until you understand why they do what they do. Because with that, we have control. And look at all the birds and the wings and the flying. Each one is unique and individual. I'm being drawn, yeah, there's hawks, there's a goose, there's every single bird is different in this card. And they all fly, they all soar in their own way. Now the moon's standing out to me. And the moon is all about illusions and overcoming things. And what do you want to say about the moon? They brought it back to this card, the alternative, with the moon there, thinking that your way is the only way that you can do things. And so that's the benefit of this, is saying, if you are stuck at something and you've been doing things the same way all your life, and you know it worked in the past, why isn't it working now? It's like saying, open your mind, that there's others that can help you make your journey a little less difficult. So yesterday, or whatever day's reading, was all about getting into the feminine receiving energy, tapping into that mother's intuition, which is also kind of like connecting to spirit. So as this one said, there's all this like trying to connect to spirit, to all these things, to whatever it is, to uplift and overcome something. But there's many ways to get about that. So now, from constantly trying to, I'm seeing someone, right, how it says there's alternative, as this dance is almost a form of meditation. And so for those, they're just showing me now someone straight up who sits in meditation to connect to spirit. And that's like you kind of leaving your body to go and explore and travel around. But when I looked at this, she's sitting here on the mushroom. She's very present. She's in her body. Because as these blossoms, I was like, the flower is earthly based, and the air and the sky dancer is very much air. Like they're two separate things. Saying separation's an illusion, but I'm going to stick with what I just said. And so here she is, rather than leaving her body, her consciousness, to connect to this thing that's higher and more grander above her, like the moon. I'm seeing now the moon as the goddess energy, or just something illusioned. But rather than going up and out of her body, she's staying there. She's staying very present. She's sitting on this little toad hill mushroom, and spirit is coming to her. It's like, yeah, I'm seeing this as like consciousness, and how your consciousness can go out and do all these things and daydream. But the main thing we want you to know is to be very present in this very second, in this moment, in the 3D reality. We want you to be so grounded that no matter what is kind of thrown at you, you still have blossomed, and nothing could knock you off your pedestal. So when I say pedestal, it's now bringing me to the lotus throne. And it said, whereas before you're trying to escape, mental escape, we want you to ruminate on the water aspect of things. Water is more emotional, the inner depths, those things. So if anything, we don't want you to try and escape and connect. We want you to go within and swim, they say. Because, as they say, the lotus, it just starts to reach for the light. It goes through the darkness and in the depths and the emotions. And so whatever your emotions are kind of guiding you, they're saying to explore them. But it's not saying to escape reality, right? We don't want you to, meditation is great. There's so many ways, and that's why there's so many different forms of meditation. There's a walking meditation. You can actually go and sit and do the body scan. You could listen to music. You can color and draw. Whatever it is that kind of makes your mind stop thinking of the worries of the present and just enjoy the present, to enjoy the moment. That's when the real emotions can kind of like uplift, right? Sometimes we have things that are, I'm seeing a jar of mud and water, and then it settles, right? And we don't know that that mud is there at the bottom until things kind of get stirred up. And by you being in the moment, it's like stirring up those emotions. Things can come to light. And so how do you actually get the mud out of it, right? Each time you're shaken up, it's going to make everything cloudy. But once you actually sit and let things settle, that's where you'll find clarity. And then that's great and all, but all it does is settle and stop, settle and stop. So what they say, I heard someone share this once, to actually get the mud out, is you need to flood the bucket, right? You put the hose in and crank it up full blast, and then all that dirt and sediment will let go. So this mud, it goes from sky and water to emotions and, no, sky and air to emotions and air. Emotions and water, that's what we're trying to say. So let's tap into this ruminate card. Okay, each time I look at it, it's like a different dream. There's the dragon, there's a white knight, there's the universe, there's childhood memories coming back, all these things. And each thing that you've kind of experienced has created emotion within you. And these emotions have created you, who you are, and they're trapped in your cellular memory. And so sometimes when you stir things up within you, it's going to be something so old that maybe you forgot about. So it's almost like they keep showing, as you stirred up those emotions that have been so suppressed, by avoiding everything, right? Not dealing with it. Well, now you got to deal with it. That it's not always bad. They're saying that sometimes it's good things that get brought back up and remembered. It's not always trauma and awful events that have been suppressed. Sometimes it's your hopes and dreams. And so that's what they're saying with the moon, because I'm seeing the moon as illusions, and it's you forgetting your hopes and dreams. But the goddess energy is bringing that back because they're kind of connected. And so in the previous reading, it was talking about that mother's intuition, or your connection to source being severed. And this one is saying that the two, your dreams and that intuitive connection, are kind of hand in hand. Oh, many hands. You've got many hands, many hopes, many dreams, and they're both connected. That's that feminine receiving energy that is going to bring it. It's like your intuition's going to guide you here to there, and those dreams, when you kind of cut off that intuitive part of you, those kind of went, because, well, those are just, oh, that's childish, that's playful, that's imaginary. But it's not really like that. That is guidance. That's the path unfolding. That's how you feel. And then all of a sudden, someone will come up to you and say that exact same thing, or have something that's the next piece to that I don't want to say breadcrumb. It's the opposite of breadcrumb. That treasure, what am I trying to say? Search. You know, you find something, and then the next bit, and the next bit. Oh man, am I butchering that? But you know what I mean. So there was 3 cards that also kind of came out within this. So let's tap into them, and then we will wrap this up. So the next one to come out is forward movement. And instantly from that, I got this ruminate card, and there's butterflies in this part. And it's like once you deal with that emotions, right? You flood the bucket, you let the sediment come up and out, and then you got clarity, you got clear water. There's no more things kind of bogging you, making you have mental fog, those things. Oh, you can't have your dream because this and this. You're like, no, things are clear. I see the path. I've got guidance, and I've got forward movement coming. And so this also kind of makes me think of like Venus when she comes in on the seashell. The next one to come out is Guardian in reverse. And then this one is awesome. So Guardian in reverse, it's like that. What do I see? I feel like it's in reverse because it's like you've got that forward movement, and it's not like that there's something outside of yourself that you're searching for, that it is within you. So that's why it's in reverse. Like, it's here she is, and the ship has come in, and you're moving towards whatever that dream was that you ruminated on, and it's within you. So it's not something outside of yourself to come. It's always something within, and you go where you're guided. And then what I thought was very interesting was the very last card was hydrate. So from the air and the escapism and then everything else and the mental, it's saying that there is so many, like, dancing is great when it comes to movements and stuff, but we really want you to stay grounded here. So if you're going to be the sky dancer, we would prefer you to be the earth dancer. Let's bring in the earth element, right? From air to water to earth, so that the flowers can bloom. There's many ways to go about it, and the goddess is helping you with your intuition. But each time you escape, you're out in your thought, you're stuck in something, you're getting all these signs around you, but you're not present enough to see them. So you need to be here. You need to be here right now. And whatever that uncomfortable emotions are, like, just let it come up and out. Flood it with light, which is the water, right? That extra water, that extra emotion, that extra support from spirit, and go forward on where you're being guided to. The guardian is not something, what am I missing about this? I'm hearing it's like nature talking to you, or these extra wisdom and things like that, but you can't hear it because if you're not present, if you're so focused on whatever it is mental, you need to listen more, because the hills talk, the flowers talk, the trees, everything, the wind especially. And then from hydrate, they just keep talking about old dreams coming back and having clarity, because you were very clear when you were a child, because you didn't have adult problems and things like that. So your dreams and imagination were very on point, they say, very connected, and you could talk to the fairies, to nature, things like that, to spirit, that your imaginary friends, whatever you called them, you had that connection, and it was very divine, and it was, I'm hearing, very calculated. Like, you knew, if I do this, then I can do this, then this and this and this. You believed in yourself. But somewhere along the lines there, you kind of got taught how to be an adult, and you forgot those things. And the main thing that they want to say is drink lots of water in this time, because I'm seeing that flooding the bucket. That flooding the bucket is lots of light in your body, and it is going to stir up those emotions. So the more and more you hydrate, the more and more you can just let things flow, right? Think about it. Your brain, we're talking about all this mental energy. Your brain is mostly water. Most people have headaches because they don't drink enough water. Their brain shrinks. They need water in it to let everything flow and function properly, let alone your whole body. And that brings it back to the moon. And everyone says, like, oh, the moon can't control you and your emotions, but the moon can control the tides of the whole ocean. And if it can control that water, and you're at least 70% water, it's kind of got a hold on you. So they're saying stay hydrated, drink lots of water, and go with the flow. There's these uncomfortable emotions coming up, but it's really just old sediment, and it's not all bad, it's not all triggering, it's not all trauma. Be prepared for that happy and that new and that joy and that excitement for life to come back up. And remember who you were or who you are, and be excited about this next forward moment, because old dreams are awakening. So we'll leave it there. Have a good day, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.